Hi, so this is the third type of video which is going to be there on the channel, which is the concept of the day. So we'll have clinical scenarios, we'll have videos, different images to explain you the concepts, okay, and which will be a bit of a new or exotic concept which is not so much discussed in your theory exams. Okay, so there is a clinical case to explain this concept. So there is a 60-year-old female, okay, female diabetic, hypertensive. Okay, she was brought to the CSR, which is the surgery emergency room, with complaints of severe abdominal pain. Okay, so severe abdominal pain. She has come. On examination, the blood pressure is 80/60, which is definitely hypotensive, and on per abdomen, you on palpation you see a pulsatile abdominal mass. Okay, the surgeon ordered a USG, okay, an ultrasonography which suggested of hemoperitoneum. So there is blood all over the abdominal cavity. Okay, so and then IV access was secured definitely, and fluids were started, but to maintain the systolic blood pressure not more than 100 as per the surgeon. It was instructed that the systolic blood pressure should not go more than 100 mm of Hg, which is definitely subnormal and less than normal, which is usually we keep at 120. Okay, so why is this done, or why is it instructed by why it was instructed by the surgeon? So let's find out. Okay, so the concept is that, you see, this is an elderly female who has come with severe abdominal pain, okay, with hypotension, okay, and a pulsatile abdominal mass. So this triad, okay, so this triad of severe abdominal pain, okay, abdominal pain, hypotension, and pulsatile abdominal mass, okay, should make you a suspicion of ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm, which is a surgical emergency. Okay, so and the most important point is there is no history of trauma here, which rules out a traumatic cause. Okay, and you see hemoperitoneum. So the point is there is blood which is definitely due to the rupture of abdominal aortic aneurysm, which is collected in the anterior compartment. So the point is, in a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm, there can be anterior collection of blood or the retroperitoneal collection of blood. So when you see the difference, the retroperitoneal blood, it usually forms an hematoma, okay, and if there are structures which, because there are and also there are structures which compress it, so the prognosis of the retroperitoneal bleed is better as compared to anterior, because anterior has a free space and there can be more bleeding in this area. Okay, so as we see that we have seen on USG that there is hemoperitoneum, which is an anterior bleed, which is a more severe bleed, and many of times the patient do not reach the hospital and die during the transport of the patient. Okay, so you see that the IV access was made and the fluids were given to maintain the SBP. So the concept is most surgeons, they prefer the principle of permissive hypotension. So we keep the blood pressure, okay, keep the blood pressure less than 100 or just sub minimally below 100, or for example, or also on the clinical feature that the patient is conscious, first point, and two, we should give only maintain such amount of blood pressure or the SBP, so that there is a adequate cardiac perfusion. So the principle is you maintain the SBP only so that the patient is conscious and has a good cardiac perfusion, And why are we doing this, or why are we risking this? We are risking this to prevent further uncontrollable hemorrhage from the ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. Abdominal aortic aneurysm. The point is, the treatment of this condition is operation and not resuscitation. Okay, so the point is, the treatment is operation. So you first of all, you do a CT of this patient, stat, to know if the patient can be repaired. Okay, the patient can be treated with an endovascular aortic aneurysm repair. So if we can do, to decide if we can do an endovascular surgery, we do a CT, and if it is not possible, then we'll go for an open repair. Okay, the other point is, so the concept is, for the management of such conditions, if the patient is hemodynamically very unstable, straight away surgery. Surgery is so quick that you usually drape the patient while the patient is awake. You do not wait for the anesthesia to completely go on and then you drape him and then the incisions are taken. It is very quick surgery because it is a life-saving procedure, and the mortality, even the mortality of the operation is 50%. Okay, in ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. Okay, the other point is, females are more at risk of rupture. So for surgeries, for if the abdominal aortic aneurysm is not ruptured, so this is asymptomatic, and for screening you do USG and you check the diameter of the aorta. Okay, diameter, and the cutoff level what we use is 5.5 centimeters. Okay, for the males, and but for females we use the less cutoff, which is 5 centimeter, that is 0.5 less than the males, because they are prone more for rupture. Okay, so the other point is, you see this is the image from Levin Bailey, and what you see is a retroperitoneal hematoma. Okay, so what we have learned is, we have learned about abdominal aortic aneurysm rupture case, and we have learned about permissive hypotension. Okay, so one more brownie point related to aorta. This is a case of abdominal aortic dissection. Aortic dissection. Okay, so dissection is when there is a tear in the intimal layer, inner layer. So based on that, after the tear in the inner layer, the blood accumulates between them, between the inner layer and the middle layer. Okay, so what you see here is, so this is a CT transverse section. Okay, so this is your vertebra, right? This is your vertebra, this is the right side, this is the left side, and your aorta is anterior, just anterior and left side to the vertebral body. So what you see here is aorta. F here shows the posterior one is the false lumen. Okay, the anterior one is a true lumen. Okay, and you see that the true lumen is definitely smaller than the false lumen, because there has been collection in the false lumen. Okay, and this typical sign which you see is also known as beak sign. Okay, thank you.